because when the that was left plugged in a couple days ago, it messed it up, and now it sounds like this in our ears. You can't hear it over the air, but it does happen in our ears. I can't even hear anymore, so in this headset.
I must have the better headset.
Officially into the home stretch of the season, the Whitey Red Sox have their final 10 regular season games left on the schedule as we are now post-All-Star break in a crucial matchup on this Sunday evening in a makeup game between the two top teams in the East Division of the Cape League as the Red Sox pay their final visit to Eldridge Park to take on the Orleans Firebirds. Luke West, Poley, Perri, Kitei alongside Perri post-All-Star break. YD coming off a couple of nights ago what was probably their best win of the season, 11-1 over Brewster. They were clicking offensively in terms of pitching. They got great stuff from Smith Pinson, their starter, who got the win. Gage Williams and Max Banks both had good days out of the bullpen. A lot to like about where this YD team is going into the final 10 regular season games.
The story of the day for me on Friday was about the extra base hits. It feels like all season YD's been putting the barrel to the ball and just have not found any outfield gaps, lining out on a nicely hit ball just right to an outfielder, but that wasn't the case on Friday. They were perfectly splitting in right center and left center. More than 5 doubles. All those RBIs came off of extra base hits, a home run. It was just a really good all-around day for power, I think, for the YD lineup.
RJ Austin leading off for the Red Sox as we get set. The first pitch comes home, and it is chopped foul by Austin. Strike one. 5:29 is our start time. It is Vanderbilt against Vanderbilt here as Sam Hilboki is on the mound. 0-1 to Austin. Swing and a miss. Brought the breaking ball. He was out in front of it. And it's no balls and 2 strikes for Hilboki. 0-2 record, 8.37 ERA across 4 starts and 3 relief appearances. Exclusively out of the stretch, the 0-2 pitch to Austin. Drops low and away on the breaking ball. It's a ball and 2 strikes. From the right side, does not throw as hard as you would maybe see some right-handers from Vanderbilt do. He's in the low 90s, throws mostly slider on the off-speed to righties and change up to lefties. The 1-2 to Austin is in there, strike 3. 4-pitch strikeout, and R.J. Austin is sat down by his college teammate, 1 away in the first as Enzo Apodaca comes up to the plate with the bases empty.
Outside corner on the fastball. Austin knew it as he watched it go by. You could see his head drop a little bit. I think he thought it would ride a little bit more outside the zone, but instead stayed in there perfectly on the outside of corner.
Bases empty for the 2-hitter Enzo Apodaca. The initial offering finds the top of the zone for strike 1 on the fastball, 0-1. Apodaca played in the All-Star game yesterday as a reserve, got 1 at bat, and worked a 4-pitch walk. Here's the 0-1. Swing and a miss. Brought the slider on the back foot that time, and Apodaca went chasing. He's down 0-2. Came into the All-Star break hitting .295, 7 runs driven in through 71 at-bats for the man out of Gonzaga in the transfer portal. No balls, 2 strikes. The count to Apodaca. The pitch. Broken bat, flare out towards short, not moving much, and Penny finds it in the glove to make the catch for out number 2. Still scoreless with 2 gone as Austin and Apodaca are sat down. That brings up Ryan Stafford, the catcher for the Red Sox, who has been strong since returning from Team USA. Righty on righty to the catcher out of Cal Poly. Hilboki kicks and deals. A strike on the lower part of the zone, 0-1. Henry Hunter is the batter he made for Hilboki today. What we have been told is probably going to be an opener type of day for Hilboki. A lot of bullpen usage as the 0-1 comes in, swing and a miss. Stafford was ahead of it. Hilboki looking very comfortable in this first inning. He's ahead on his 3rd straight batter. Ryan Stafford facing an 0-2 count. Bases empty, 2 gone.
Stafford's currently riding a 4-game hit streak.
0-2 bounces before reaching home, and Stafford lays off. It's a ball and 2 strikes.
3 of those 4 games for Stafford have been multi-hit games with 2 hits apiece for 3 games in a row from the 18th to the 20th. But as you said, they've hot since he's been back.
cumulatively hitting .300 this season, 12 for 40, including pre-Team USA stuff. The 1-2 swung on and missed. Strike 3, and that retires the top of the first. Samuel Boki goes 1-2-3 through the top of the YD order. We head to the bottom of inning number 1, scoreless between the Red Sox and the Orleans Firebirds. Back to Eldridge Park next. You're listening to YD Baseball on the Cape League Broadcast Network. No score between YD and Orleans. Last of the first with Poley alongside Perri, Kitei. As always, thanks for spending your Sunday evening with us. Makeup game from a couple of weeks ago between Orleans and the YD Red Sox. Joe Oyama, East Division MVP of the All-Star game, hits leadoff for the Firebirds. The second baseman, who has been hitting .383 this season and is on pace to break the CCBL triples record in a season, will stand into the lefty box to face Jackson Kent. He winds and deals the first offering, and it bounces on home plate for ball 1.
It was a pretty stagnant day for the East Division yesterday. Oyama had 1 hit. I think the East had 4 total. Oyama also had a stolen base, a lot of speed on the base path, so obvious choice for a team that lost 7-1.
1-0 rides up high, 2 balls, no strikes. Yama out of UC Irvine. Ahead in the count, 2-0. He has hit YD pitching pretty well this year. The 2-0 pitch is popped up left side and out of play. That'll get over the road drop foul. 2 balls and 1 strike to Oyama. Leadoff man in this bottom of the first inning in a scoreless game between YD and Orleans. From the wind, the pitch, swing and a miss. Went with the high cheese there and got it by him to even the count at 2-2. Jackson Kent, the Arizona Wildcat, trying to retire his first batter of this game. Has the glove over the face, brings it over his head now. The 2-2, fouled straight back. Oyama stays alive. And the count remains 2-2. 2.2 ERA for Jackson Kent this season, 17 strikeouts and 16 1/3 for a guy who joined the Red Sox partway through the year. The 2-2. Outside, clips out of the glove of Ryan Stafford. He's getting the start behind the plate this evening for YD, and the count is full to Joe Oyama. Here comes the payoff pitch. Chopped up first base side and foul. Ball did not travel much more than 10 feet. Oyama looks like he also got that one off the foot, and so he will return to face another full count. Base is still empty. Oyama trying to fight. YD pitching has had a tough time retiring Orleans hitters this season. The 3-2 in there, strike 3. So Oyama watches that one beautifully painted over the outside corner from Jackson Kent, and he wins the marathon of a first at-bat with Orleans at the plate. That'll bring in Justin Rubin with the bases empty and one away, still scoreless.
That was a really important at-bat for Jackson Kent because Oyama is so dangerous on the base paths, and his on-base percentage is about .450.
First pitch is inside for ball one to Justin Rubin.
So retiring a guy that gets on base half the time in the leadoff spot, that's why he's up there. Really important first out.
Lefty on righty, the 1-0. Just a tad low, 2 balls, no strikes. Justin Rubin at the plate. Another strong hitter, high average atop the Orleans lineup at .390. 1 home run, 6 driven in for him, the 2-0, and he goes after it and sends it on the ground over third base side. Picking it up, Xander Darby pumps twice and throws to first in time to beat out Rubin for the second out of the inning. Darby fam in the house had some loud cheers for the YD third baseman. 2 gone now for Jack Penny.
Darby was hitting nukes during batting practice. He hit one all the way almost over the bathroom building out in center. It was incredible.
First pitch is high to Penny for ball 1. .1-0 pitch on the way, and it's a breaking ball that sinks low. 2 balls, no strikes to Jack Penny. Out of Notre Dame, lefty on lefty matchup. We've seen his average climb up to .273. Next pitch swung on and missed for strike 1. 2 balls and 1 strike to Jack Penny. Jackson Kent working relatively quickly here. He's retired the first 2, the bottom of the first. Next pitch is a bouncer in that Penny lays off. That'll make it a 2-1 count. Beg your pardon, 3 balls and a strike now to Penny as Kent gets ready, winds and throws. This one lined out towards right center field. That's a base hit. Got kicked down, barely bouncing in the outfield grass, but it splits Ryan Jackson and Theo Hardy, and Jack Penny is the game's first base runner in the bottom of the first. He has himself a 2-out single.
Jack Penny's been great for Orleans all year, but particularly solid against YD. He is 6 for 12 overall with 3 walks against YD pitching.
Matt Hallback at the plate. Kent's first offering swung on and missed for strike 1. Penny, one of just many of these Orleans players that have gotten hot at the right time. The Firebirds have seen their record climb tremendously as they jumped Harwich and now sit at second in the division. 0-1 pitch is a breaker low. 1 ball, 1 strike to Hallback, another guy over 300 in terms of average at .311. 1 home run and 5 driven in for the Triton at a UC San Diego. Lefty on righty from the stretch. Kent looks over at first, kicks and deals. It's a breaking ball low again. Stafford squeezes it between the legs, and it is a 2-1 count to Matt Hallback.
YD has 5 points ahead of Orleans in the East right now, but this game still has big implications because this, with a win for Orleans, could put them in biting distance of first place.
Kent will check on the runner at first. Orleans has not really threatened the top of the East Division since when the standings didn't really matter in the first couple of weeks, but they have made their way back near the top. Top 4 make the playoffs. Orleans pretty safe, but looking for that top spot. Runner on first, no score in the bottom of the first with 2 gone. Kent eyeing in on home. 2-2 pitch. Tapped foul. Stafford caught the brunt of that behind the plate, favoring his right leg where that ball clipped off him. Count will remain the same to Hallback at 2-2. Hallback steps back in. 2 balls and 2 strikes, and Kent again will throw over to first. Kent has already pitched in a game against Orleans this season. As he readies up for the 2-2 pitch. It's his second appearance in a 10-1 loss. 2-2, hit on the ground over towards second. It beats the shift, and it's into right center for a base hit. Rounding second, heading for third. Penny will arrive there safely. And that extends the inning. It's another single. Might have been playable for Ryan Jackson if he was positioned in his normal spot, but he was shifted over to the pull side. And with Hallback going the opposite way there, he keeps the inning alive. Runners now in the corners for Eddie Micheletti. So this inning has prolonged. Past couple of times the Red Sox have been here at Eldridge. Orleans has taken the game's first lead, looking to do the same again here. Micheletti sees the first pitch, and he takes a strike in the upper part of the zone, 0-1. Recent transfer announcement from Micheletti as he is leaving George Washington to play for Virginia Tech in the ACC. 0-1 pitch, check swing on a pitch up high, and he did not go around, so that's a ball and a strike. Micheletti transferring out after a season in which he went 384, 460, 563 in terms of the slash line, hitting 269 here on Cape. On the corners with 2 outs, the 1-1 offering comes in on the hands, another check swing that Micheletti holds, and it's 2 balls and a strike. Lefty on lefty. Micheletti looking to add to a pretty sizable 14 RBI tally on the season. The knee lift and throw home from Kent, and it's outside. Breaking ball did not have a lot behind it there. Jackson Kent taking a lot off it, but couldn't paint the outer corner. And it is 3 balls and a strike to Micheletti as Kent is a strike away from loading the bases. 3-1 pitch is fouled back, a ball away from loading the bases, I should say. That'll make the count full. Now he's a strike away from getting out of the inning. Runner on first will be on the move. That's Matt Hallback. Bases. There's an open base at second as they're on the corners with 2 outs and a 3-2 count.
Micheletti already has 3 walks on the season versus YD pitching. 3 hits to go along with that.
Payoff, and that's a 4th, ball 4. Micheletti tosses the bat aside as he took a pitch in the dirt that did not tempt much of a swing. And the bases are loaded. Jackson Kent retired the first 2 batters of this inning. Since then, 2 hits and a walk. And there are ducks on the pond for Fenwick Trimble.
Now, most of Orleans has had a pretty okay time against YD pitching, but Fenwick Trimble, who is one of the Firebirds' best hitters, is hitless versus YD, 14 at-bats. No walks either.
First pitch is high at the letters for ball 1.
YD's really just had his number all season.
Trimble, the right fielder, out of James Madison. 229 hitter this year with 2 home runs. Has that power. The base is loaded. Kent to lift his knee and pump back towards second. So that resets the pitch clock as he climbs back on. Still working out of the stretch here with the bases loaded. 1-0 to Trimble. Check swing foul ball on the right side. That gets onto the hill. Liner over the netting on the right side. And it's a ball and a strike. No score between the Red Sox and the Orleans Firebirds in the bottom of the first inning. Bases are loaded for Orleans with 2 gone. Kent's 1-1 on the way. Swinging a foul ball straight back. Clacks off the brick backstop here at Eldridge Park. Trimble went chasing there below the zone and only caught a small piece of that ball. And he's behind in the count, 1-2. This will be Jackson Kent's 32nd pitch of this inning. As his sign, Trimble chokes up. 1-2 pitch. Lifted up in the air on the right side and way out of play. That gets into the parking lot. Trimble fights it off, and defensively we'll see another 1-2 pitch. Lefty on righty as Jackson Kent looks to retire the first and keep this game scoreless. From a semi-crowded Eldridge Park. Kent readies the 1-2. Fouled off. Trimble wears that one on the right leg. And continuing to fight here, he'll see another.
Even if Orleans doesn't get any across this inning, they've already racked up this pitch count on Kent. It's at 33 now. which is really, really high for just one inning of work.
Next pitch on the way, swung on and missed, strike 3, and that ends the inning. So Jackson Kent gets a scoreless first despite 3 base runners, all coming with 2 outs. Kent leaves them loaded, and we are scoreless through 1 inning of play. 0-0 between YD and Orleans. To the second we go. 4-5-6 due up for the Red Sox when we come back. You're listening to YD Baseball on the Cape League Broadcast Network. Top of the second inning, Sam Leboki had a really strong first. And he will look to continue that in a scoreless game between the Red Sox and the Orleans Firebirds, facing Braden Montgomery, the switch hitter. First pitch on the way, and Montgomery crashes this one out into right center field. That's a base hit. Cut off before reaching the wall by Colin Tuff, but Montgomery gets YD's first hit of the game, and he is aboard to lead off the top of the second inning with a single.
After a bit of a quiet start, Montgomery has been barreling everything as of late. Even if it doesn't reach the gaps, his power has been undeniable in that time. Shows it in right center.
So now Xander Darby with a runner on first will hit. 2 home runs for UC Santa Barbara Gaucho on the year. First pitch to the lefty. Drops low for ball 1. Darby hitting .265 this year. One of a few guys that has been hitting the ball well. His next pitch comes in, and it misses inside on the hands. 2 balls, no strikes. Casey Cook on deck for YD. 2 balls and no strikes to Darby with a runner on first. Leboki comes exclusively out of the stretch as the 2-1 comes in. Swung on and missed. Makes it a 2-1 count to Darby. He's thrown everything low in the zone so far for the most part. As he throws back over towards first, and Montgomery's back with a slide. 2 balls, 1 strike to Xander Darby. Kick the pitch high at the shoulders, and it's 3 balls and a strike. Leboki did not issue a free pass in his first inning of work. He has walked 5 in 9 2/3 coming into this one. He's gotten hit around a bit, though. 15 hits in that span. Next pitch on the way, and Darby hits this one well out towards right field. Going back on it, Trimble at the wall, and it is out of here. Xander Darby, 2-run shot to right center field. And YD strikes first in the top of the second inning. It's his 3rd of the year, and it makes it 2-0 Red Sox.
We said he was hitting nukes in practice, and look where that gets him today. That one, an identical one from batting practice earlier, and really nice to see as YD takes the lead.
RJ Austin picks him up and carries him back into the dugout as Casey Cook, batting in a game newly led by the Red Sox, 2-0 YD in the top of the second inning. Bases empty. First pitch to Casey. Outside in the other batter's box for ball 1. Cook in right field today. He's been hitting the ball a lot better over the last week or so. Average up to 191. 1-0 pitch. Takes a strike on the inner corner, belt high. 1 ball, 1 strike. Bases empty, nobody out. Top of the second and 2-0 Red Sox. Time is called as Dub Gleed on the on-deck circle is asked to shift his spot a little bit. Next pitch on the way to Cook, and he flares it left side. That's a base hit over the head of a leaping Brandon Stallman. And now Cook is going to race around first as it's misplayed in left field, and he will be into second base safely. And so another runner with an extra base hit for YD. We will have to check the scoring decision on that ball. A hard hit liner up the line. It is a single for Casey Cook. So he won't get the extra base, but he does get the hit and moves into scoring position on the misplay in left. Dub Gleed now batting with a runner in scoring position. 2-0 YD, runner on second, nobody out in the top of the second inning. Gleed started off cold and then heated up in the final innings of the win against Brewster. Started 0 for 3, then had a double and a single to finish the day 2 for 5. Righty on righty. Milboki looks back at second, now deals. Breaking ball front doors in for strike one. Dub Gleed wearing number 20 today. Not his usual number 4. YD in the road. Red tops, white bottoms. Orleans wearing the black tops with the white bottoms on a hot day from Eldridge Park. Next pitch on the way. Runner goes. Bunt is shown and pulled back. Throw down to second is not in time. And Casey Cook swipes third. Orleans did not like the call at third base, but Cook got around it. Our vantage point is not great to what is happening on that left side, but call is that Cook was in there, so now a runner on third. 1-1 to Gleed, and that misses in near the knees. 2 balls and a strike.
It was a nice slide from Cook. He got his outside hand around there on the head first dive, and the throw came in a little bit high, so I think his hand just snuck in there.
2-1 to Gleed, and he lifts it out towards right center field. Should be deep enough as Trimble comes around it, and right he makes the catch. Runner tagging from third. Throw comes into home, and it is late. Cook scores, and it's a sacrifice fly for Dub Gleed as Casey Cook makes it 3-0 Red Sox. That's the first out of the inning. But Gleed picks up the RBI, now his 12th of the season. It's been a sneaky 12 for Dub Gleed.
He's come up in big moments for the Red Sox. Even when he hasn't been batting consistently, when he puts it in play, he's done really important things that have
First pitch to Ryan Jackson is in for a strike.
helped determine the course of some of these games.
Base is empty, and now 1 out in a 3-0 game led by YD after the Dub Gleed sac fly. 0-1 pitch to Jackson. Fastball out, 1 ball, 1 strike. Milboki's pitch count still below what Jackson Kent had to throw in the first on the YD side of things, but he's given up a 3 spot here in the second. 1-1. Slides off the plate. 2 balls and a strike to Jackson. Jackson 9 for 27 since coming in. Righty on righty to the USC Trojan. The 2-1 pitch. Comes in near the shoulder. He turns away from it, and the count is 3-1. Jackson using the team issue bat. Maroon handle, or maroon barrel, I should say, black handle. 3-1 is low for ball 4. First free pass from Milboki. And that'll bring up the 9-man of the order, Theo Hardy. Runner on first now with 1 out in the top of the second inning. 3-0 Red Sox. Theo Hardy had something of a coming out party in the last game against Brewster, in which he had a double. Also scored a run. Runner goes. First pitch on the way. It is in, swung on and missed for a strike. Throw down to second is in time. And it gets Ryan Jackson for the second out of the inning as Henry Hunter guns him down. And so quickly that wipes the bases clear. 0-1 the count following the swing and miss by Theo Hardy. Now the pitch. And he bumps it foul. Sharply, that one flies across the road. No balls, 2 strikes to Theo Hardy. R.J. Austin at the top of the YD order is on deck. This inning could end right here as the 0-2 comes in. And it's taken in the dirt. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Hardy. Hardy waiting in the lefty box as the 1-2 comes in. Goes after it and lifts it up left side of the infield into foul ground, backing up. Stallman camped underneath it, makes the catch, and that retires the side. But the Red Sox strike for 3 in the top of the second inning on the 2-run homer from Xander Darby and the sac fly by Doug Gleed. Red Sox with a commanding lead as we head to the home half of the second. You're listening to YD Baseball on the Cape League Broadcast Network. Bottom of the second inning from a sunny and warm Eldridge Park. It's 3-0 Red Sox with YD scoring all their runs in the last half inning. Orleans will look to respond with the bottom 3 in the order coming up. Brandon Stallman leads off. First pitch to him is inside for ball 1. Jackson Kent worked quickly in the first between his pitches. From the line, the 1-0 pitch rises high. 2 balls, no strikes, as Kent was required to throw 34 pitches in the first inning. 2-0. Nubbed foul over to the left side. It rolls to the YD dugout. It's 2 balls and a strike to Stallman. Kent got the first 2 batters down pretty quickly, then gave up single walk to load the bases before striking out Fenwick Trimble. Keep Orleans off the board. 2 balls and a strike from the line. The pitch twirled foul behind home plate. This guy's out of play, and it's 2-2.
This is the first time Stallman is seeing YD pitching. He's a recent addition to the Orleans roster out of Charlotte.
2-2 is a breaking ball high. 3 balls and 2 strikes. He's had a good start to the year. .312 hitter. 5 for his first 16. Kent's 3-2 pitch. Grounder slowly rolls behind the mound over to short. The sidearm from shortstop Theo Hardy is in time for the out. As it beats out Stallman, that ball just slow rolling up the infield grass to the right of the mound. And there's 1 away for Colin Tuft. Base is empty with YD up 3. Tuft to righty in to face the left-handed pitcher, Jackson Kent. He throws the first pitch. Breaking ball just a bit high. 1 ball, no strikes. Kent adjusts the hat as he gets back on the rubber. Next pitch on the way. It is cracked foul on the right side and out of play. Colin Tuft out of Virginia, transferring next year to play for the Tulane Green Wave, a team that made the NCAA tournament despite their 40-loss regular season. 1-1, breaking ball low, 2 balls and a strike.
That was one of my favorite sports stories of the year. It's what you gotta love about sports.
Miraculous run in the AAC tournament brought the Green Wave to the big dance. 2 balls and a strike to Tuft. Pitch called strike on the bottom part of the zone. A nice frame from Ryan Stafford, and the count is 2-2. They're getting a good transfer in Colin Tuft, who played 41 games for the Hoos this season. The 2-2 pitch just misses off the inner corner, and the count is full. Seen a lot of full counts against Jackson Kent today. He's up to 45 pitches now with 1 out in the bottom of the 2nd inning and the base is empty. The payoff offering, slow rolled over towards 3rd. Darby charging, fields in front of his chest, sidearms to 1st. It's a low throw, and it can't be picked out by Dub Gleed. It trickles away, backed up quickly by 2nd baseman Ryan Jackson, but Tuft is safe at 1st. He will hold up there on what will likely be scored as Whitey's first error of the game. A tough play there for Xander Darby, who looked like he was struggling to get that out of his glove and rushed to get rid of it. That puts a man on 1st with 1 away for Henry Hunter, the catcher hitting in the traditional 9 slot. Out of UAB. Kent looks over at 1st, now deals to Hunter, and he lifts this one foul ground and out of play. That'll land over near the traffic light on the road as that makes it 0-1. Still no scorer's decision yet on Henry Hunter. 0-1 comes in, runner goes, pitches a call to strike, thrown on to 2nd's a beauty, but it's not in time. A nice slide by Colin Tuft to the back part of the bag, and he gets around it. So the runner moves up into scoring position as Hunter goes down 0-2. Tuft reaching 1st was ruled an E5. And so now he stands on 2nd base following the swiped bag. 0-2 is the count to Hunter. Kent looks back at his runner in scoring position and now throws. Fastball outside, and the count moves to 1-2. Kent's about to throw his 50th pitch. Sets at the belt. Kicks and deals. Swing and a miss. Breaking ball down low, and Hunter goes chasing for strike 3. 3rd strikeout for Jackson Kent. 2nd by way of the swing and miss. Turns the lineup over for Joe Oyama. Runner on 2nd, 2 away. Oyama was rung up his last time to begin the game at the plate for Orleans as he struck out looking. An RBI chance for the All-Star. He's got 11 of those this season, but still looking for his first hit of the year against Jackson Kent. First pitch fired in. Breaking ball in on the hands for ball 1 as Oyama shakes his head, stepping out of the box.
Oyama, his average is up to 383. 2 home runs, 11 RBIs. 41 hits.
1-0 is painted on the outer corner. The fastball, a ball, and a strike. Oyama with 2 home runs on the year came into the game before the All-Star break with none. It was a doubleheader against Chatham. He hit 1 in each game. Ball and a strike, and the pitch lifted, pretty well hit out towards right center field, but should be playable for the YD defense coming over from right. Casey Cook called off by Enzo Apodaca. He makes the catch, and that ends the inning. Orleans, the beneficiaries of an error. They moved the runner into scoring position on a stolen base, but stranded him there. It's still 3-0 Red Sox as we head to the 3rd top of the order coming up for YD when we come back. You're listening to Red Sox Baseball on the Cape League Broadcast Network. 3-0 Sox in the top of the third inning as YD brings the top of the order up to the plate. RJ Austin is 0 for 1. As Sam Leboki back out onto the mound for his third inning of work. Righty on righty, and the two college teammates from Vanderbilt, the first pitch. And RJ Austin takes a strike on the inner half, 0-1. A 1 pitch on the way, and Austin lines it right side, base hit. Austin goes the opposite way and collects the base knock. The 307 hitter from Vandy ups the average and puts the leadoff man aboard for the second straight inning for YD. Now Enzo Apodaca looking to move him up. The two all-stars that are in the lineup today for YD, batting 1-2 for Scott Pickler as Austin takes his lead on first, and the lefty Apodaca moves into the plate. Milwaukee's initial offering is lifted up and foul behind home. No balls and a strike to Apodaca, who popped out to Jack Penny at short his last time.
Cracked his bat.
0-1. Fouled back. No balls, 2 strikes. Apodaca's been using a variety of bats throughout the season. We're using a black Marucci right now, batting from the lefty box with the lime green thumb grip. Down in the count, 0-2. Leboki fires down in the dirt. Like maybe a changeup there from him, and the count will move to 1-2. Austin has not been moving on first, although his lead is relatively large. Leboki now will throw over there, and it nearly got away, but Matt Hallback stretches to his left to keep that ball from going to the sidewall. A ball and 2 strikes to Apodaca. And the throw over again, as this time Austin will slide back, and the throw is more online, but RJ is back in plenty of time. 1-2 to Apodaca, comes home. Lifted up and out of play on the left side, as it's a foul ball to keep the count the same at 1-2. Ball and 2 strikes, runner on first, nobody out. YD in front 3-0 here in the top of the third from Eldridge Park. Pitch, push foul again. And we will see another 1-2. Ball landed on a very busy state highway behind us. Yesterday at the All-Star game in the parking lot, there was an absolutely smashed windshield. Ball and 2 strikes to Apodaca, the pitch. He takes in the dirt as RJ Austin bluffs. Hunter will give him a look over to first, but he will not throw there, and the count moves to 2-2.
That was really close to hitting a blue Ford truck driving by. The driver looked over towards the field when that one bounced on the road.
2-2 to Apodaca, lifted to the opposite field again, and twisting foul. Side spin on it. Apodaca sends another one out of the park on the left side, the third in this at-bat, and he will see another 2-2. Austin leaning towards second. 2-2 comes home. Apodaca hits it on the ground over to second, scooped up by Oyama. He goes to second for one. Throw on to first is in time, and it's a 4-6-3 double play. Turned by the middle infield. Oyama to Penny to Hallback, and there are 2 gone in the third inning.
Apodaca looked like he might have turned his ankle. Was limping that one off a little bit. I saw it. He was just half a step away, and he leapt to try to get the safe call, and his ankle kind of fell off the side of the bag a little bit as he's walking gingerly back to the YD dugout.
Favoring the right leg. He will now increase his pace from a walk to a jog, but still some grimacing on his face as he makes his way back. So we will have to check on Enzo Apodaca in the next inning when YD goes out to play the field. He's been one of the brightest spots in this entire lineup, especially of late. Tough to see what happens to him as the first pitch to Ryan Stafford comes in. He takes the ball outside, 1-0. 2 gone now in the top of the third. 3-0 Red Sox. Base is empty as the 0-1 comes in, and it's hit on the ground over towards second. Coming around it, Jack Penny has it, up with it, throw low to first, but it's scooped out by Hallback, and that retires the side. We'll check on Enzo Apodaca. Samuel Boki faces the minimum in the third after giving up the leadoff hit. He draws the double play and gets through the third scoreless. 3-0 Red Sox. You're listening to Waddy Baseball on the Cape League Broadcast Network. The Waddy Red Sox want to thank Cape Cod Veterinary Specialists for sponsoring this broadcast. Cape Cod Veterinary Specialists provide premier emergency and specialty care for your beloved companions, located in Dennis and Buzzards Bay and open 24 hours a day. Bad news for the Red Sox as YD has put Paxton Kling in for Enzo Apodaca. Could be precautionary in center, but they will play without Enzo for now as he turned his ankle. Jackson Kent deals the first pitch of the inning, and it comes up high and in for ball 1 on Justin Rubin, who leads it off for the Firebirds, with the Red Sox leading 3-0. All their runs coming in the second. Jackson Kent kicks and throws the 1-0. A fastball way outside. Ryan Stafford reaching into the lefty batter's box to grab it, and it's 2 balls and no strikes. Rubin the DH. Shows bunt as the next pitch comes in. It's pushed up the third base line and foul. And so he will come back to a 2-1 count. Orleans has collected 2 hits. They've drawn 1 walk. Also have reached on an error in this game against Jackson Kent. 2-1 pitch comes in, and this one is looped out towards right field. Coming in, Casey Cook, and he can't get there. Drops in for a base hit. Opposite field, bloop single for Justin Rubin. And the Firebirds have the leadoff man on for the first time all game as Justin Rubin that gets his first hit of the day. And now Jack Penny, who got the first hit of the game for Orleans, comes up to the plate. Singled in the first with 2 outs. Start of a rally that Orleans got to load the bases, but they failed to score any runs. Kent's throws home, swing and a miss for strike 1 on the off speed. 0-1 to Penny, as Jackson Kent is up to 57 pitches now through 2 innings, trying to record his first out of the third. Runner on first. 0-1, swinging a foul tip. It's off of Stafford, but he looks to be just fine as the count moves to 0-2 to Jack Penny. Jackson Kent yet to get Jack Penny out this season. Nothing but hits for the man out of Notre Dame. Next pitch is lifted in the air, left field, and slices foul. Still 0-2. And Jack Penny getting ready to step back in. It's Jackson Kent. It's been pretty strikeout heavy thus far. He's got 3 through 2 innings. Head in the count on Penny. 0-2, way up high, back pick to first. 270-degree turn by Dub Gleed, and he cannot apply the tag in time on Justin Rubin. A ball and 2 strikes to Penny. As Kent comes plateward, runner bluffs, pitches down low. Stafford thought about throwing to first again, but instead will just run the ball up the third base line and then throw it back to his pitcher, Jackson Kent. Count has moved even to Penny at 2-2.
Penny's a lefty, and standing in the box, it makes that throw really hard for Stafford. If Penny just stands in there, Stafford has to maneuver around him.
2-2 is rolled up towards short. Backhand hold by Hardy. Pauses for a moment before throwing to first, and it's in time as Gleed digs it out of the dirt. A second of indecision from Theo Hardy, thinking about whether or not he should go for the lead runner there, but instead just makes the safe play to go to first. Got rid of that in enough time to beat out Jack Penny, who is retired for the first time. Ruben moves up into scoring position as he now stands on second, and one out for Matt Hallback, who's 1 for 1. Orleans trying to strike first. Currently can strike for the first time in this game, I should say, in a 3-0 deficit as the first pitch comes in and Hallback swings out in front of it for strike one. Ruben on second. Moves up on the ground out after his base hit. 3 hits in the game now for Orleans. 0-1 offering comes in. And it's beaten into the ground over to first. Dub Gleed's got a long run to get over to first, but he gets there in time as Ruben moves from second to third. Gleed was playing way off the line there. Orleans has gone to the opposite field a lot today, and that ball was just pushed and beaten down into the ground. Gleed had to come towards the middle of the field, grab it, then turn back the other way and run about 20 feet to the bag. But he beats out Hallback for the 3 unassisted. Runner on third now with 2 gone for Eddie Micheletti. Kent's first pitch to the lefty. Swing and a miss on the off speed for strike one. Micheletti catches nothing but air.
2 outs here and a runner on third. Orleans has already left 4 on base. Meanwhile, the Red Sox have left nobody on base.
0-1 is popped up. Foul ground. Ryan Stafford looks at it, and it gets just over our heads and out of play. And so Kent ahead in the count now at 0-2. After giving up the leadoff hit, looking to go through the next 3 hitters. 0-2 to Micheletti. Way up high on the fastball over his head, and he does not bite on the chase. Micheletti, who walked his first time up, watches his first ball of the at-bat go by. Ball and 2 strikes. 2 bases open with the runner on third. Pitch on the way in there for strike 3, and that ends the inning. Jackson Kent gets a strikeout in the third. He's up to 4 Ks through 3 scoreless. It's 3-0 Red Sox as we head to the 4th inning. 4, 5, 6 in the YD order when we come back. You're listening to YD Baseball on the Cape League Broadcast Network.
Top of the 4th at Eldridge Park as YD leads the Firebirds 3-0, and Braden Montgomery is leading things off. He singled to right center field his first time around. First pitch on the way falls on the outside corner for strike 1. Montgomery batting from the left side. A switch hitter. The next pitch comes in and drops low as the count moves to 1-1. He's one of very few real switch hitters still left in this league and left in college baseball. The kick and deal from Lavoki is outside.
Talked about it a little bit, though. It's also interesting that YD's made a couple of acquisitions since, but 3 straight acquisitions made by the Red Sox are their 3 switch hitters in Montgomery, Garza, and Hardy.
The 2-1 comes in and drops low as the count moves to 3-1. Montgomery out of Stanford for 2 years, but now in the transfer portal, former Pac-12 Freshman of the Year, first team All Pac-12 selection this year. 3-1 bumped foul, and the count moves full. Xander Darby on deck. He hit a 2-run bomb out to right field his first time around. Loki fires the payoff outside, ball 4, and Montgomery is aboard the leadoff base runner as Darby steps up to that lefty box. Darby representing the UCSB Gauchos. Waves the black and tan bat. First pitch on the way. Hit foul and out of play towards the road. Bounces into the woods. Counts at 0-1.
Man, this is the most amount of close calls we've seen on cars in all our times here. And we're only in the 4th inning.
The 0-1 drops low. In the dirt, Hunter grabs it. Montgomery, not much of a lead on first. We haven't seen a pickoff from Leboki over there yet. And there he goes for the first time as Montgomery is sliding back head first. Set now from the stretch, glove at the belt. Into the wind, pitch on the way, lined up the middle into center field. That's a base hit, and Braden Montgomery advances to second. Xander Darby now halfway through the cycle with a single and a home run.
He has been as hot as anyone else in this lineup, Xander Darby has, and it's looking like he's finally starting to find those gaps. Has settled into the season and then some now as he is collecting hits in bunches.
Hunter walking out to the mound to have a chat with his pitcher, patting him on the back. 5 hits so far for the Red Sox, 3 for the Firebirds. YD leads 3-0 in the top of the 4th. And Hunter makes his way back behind the plate. With Casey Cook stepping into the box, he's 1 for 1 with a single. On deck is Dub Gleed, who scored the 3rd run on a sac fly out to right. Runners on first and second, nobody gone. First pitch on the way, bunt is shown and laid down up the first baseline. It's a good one. Hunter slips and falls, so Casey Cook is safe on the bunt, and the bases are loaded for Dub Gleed. Wow.
Well, that was quick. That's some efficiency in loading the bases for the Red Sox. Cook put that ball pretty well up the first base line, but that had no business being a bunt for a hit. He was trying to sacrifice there and caught a break.
That will be scored as an E1. And a first pitch strike drops in for Dub Gleed. He takes.
New pitcher just activated today, Mauricio Rodriguez, the righty out of Rice, is warming up in the Orleans bullpen.
The 0-1 falls just off the plate. A nice take from Gleed, moves it to 1-1. Ryan Jackson on deck. YD making their way through the second time through the order already. Gleed batting in the 7-hole today. Pitch on the way from Leboki. And Hunter can't frame it up as ball 2 drops low. Gleed has already scored 1 on the sac fly. Anything deep enough in the outfield should score Montgomery from third. Pitch on the way, swung on and fouled up the third base line. 2-2. Laboki is set. Gleed awaits the 2-2 pitch. And the pitcher calls time to reset himself. Resets the pitch clock as well, set at the waist, twisting the ball behind his back. Here it comes. Popped up into shallow field over the fence. Out of play on the hill. Really twisted through the air. I thought that was going to be in the shallow infield and ended up making its way over that right side netting. As the count will stay at 2-2.
Honestly, if that had stayed playable, you might consider tagging from third maybe, but see if Glee can do some more damage than just a sac fly here.
The 2-2 on the ground, up the middle, and it's fielded off the one hop from Joe Oyama, twisted to Jack Penny. Really nice play off one bounce. The throw to first was not in time to get two, so there's one gone on the fielder's choice. Montgomery comes in to score.
Wow, Gleed was absolutely robbed of a 2 RBI single there. That was a really, really nice play by the middle of the infield for Orleans to even get an out in that situation, and by preventing that from getting into center, they also saved a run. So YD gets one, but Gleed probably should have had the 2 RBI knock there.
Jackson shows bunt and pulls back, runs it through. Now reset in the righty box. Runners on the corners, pitch on the way, swung on and missed, strike two. Or strike one, excuse me. So the count moves to 1-1. One gone in the top of the fourth. The Red Sox lead 4-0 at Eldridge Park. Bunt is shown, and Jackson offers at it, but can't get it down for strike two. Laboki getting some cheers from the dugout as he tries to work himself out of this jam without giving up anything else. And it's grounded up towards short. This could be it. The toss to second. The throw to first, however, is not in time, so one comes around to score on another fielder's choice, very similar to Gleed's, as Jackson scores Darby, and Gleed is thrown out at second.
You always run a little faster as a hitter when you know if you leg that out for the fielder's choice, you get the RBI, and Ryan Jackson beat it on the back end pretty easily there as YD adds another.
And this one's crushed out towards left field, but camped in front of the wall. Micheletti makes the grab to retire the side. Hardy went after the first pitch, and it's caught in left, but YD strikes for two in the fourth. They lead 5-0 as we head to the bottom half. You're listening to YD Baseball on the Cape League Broadcast Network. Bottom of the fourth, Kent back on the mound. He'll face Fenwick Trimble, who is still looking for his first hit against YD all season. He hasn't reached base against YD all season as the first pitch comes in and is chopped foul up the third base line for strike one. I say that every time he gets to the plate thinking, this is the time I jinx him. And then the streak continues. The streak
hasn't happened yet.
That's gone on all season so far. Kent delivers just beneath the zone, ball one.
See, I mean, a lot of baseball between these two teams over today and tomorrow. They'll meet again at Red Wilson.
Check swing, falls outside, ball two. Kent holding the glove in front of the face. Now into the wind. The pitch lined out towards center field, and Kling has it. As Trimble can't find any gaps, the streak lives on as Trimble's retired for out number one.
Can hit a ball 120 miles an hour probably, and it's not going to really do anything for you in center here. It's just such a graveyard at Eldridge Park, has been every time YD has been here. And the streak continues for Fenwick Trimble.
First pitch on the way sails high to Brandon Stallman, who is 0 for 1 with a ground out. Kent moving really quickly through the pitch clock as ball two drops in at the knees.
You'd love, if you're YD, if you could get Kent through the fifth. If he can keep his pitch count low in these next two, it's possible.
The 2-0 on a line towards right field, and the shift was in play. Jackson had a chance at it, but it sails over his leaping glove. If he was a couple of feet further back, he was already camped out in shallow right field, and he needed to be a few more feet to make that grab. So the shift misses by a couple of inches, and Stallman has a base hit.
It's a heck of an effort, though, from Ryan Jackson.
Brings up Colin Tuft. He's 0 for 1, but reached on an error that came from Xander Darby over at third. Lefty on righty battle as it bounces in the dirt and gets away from Stafford, trickles behind Tuft, and Stallman, nice heads-up base running, takes a base on the passed ball.
It's a tough break as Stafford had that ball tracked. He was thinking it was going to go behind the batter, and then it just hit Stallman, who was occupying his legal space.
Strike one clips the outside half of the zone to move the count to 1-1. On Colin Tuft, he has a stolen base today as well. One of the faster guys on Orleans. The 1-1 comes in, spiked in the dirt, nicely chested down by Stafford to keep it in front. 2 balls and a strike. And Tuft is now standing in the righty box. Correct me if I'm wrong, Luke, as it's hammered out towards center field, sprinting back. Paxton Kling at the wall, makes the grab. The tag comes from Stallman from second to third. That was hit about 400 feet. But that wall out there in center's 434, and it can't clear the fence. What an effort from Kling to get there in time. He was out full sprint. But I do think that Colin Tuft changed what side he was batting from in the middle of the at-bat, which is special.
Yeah, and that was as long of a run as Kling is ever going to have to make in center. That's gone in most ballparks.
First pitch fouled back into the net from Henry Hunter in the 9-hole. 0-1 with 2 gone. YD trying to strand the 6th base runner for Orleans and keep them off the board as Kent's breaking ball curve runs in on the batter for ball 1.
We've seen Red Sox defensively be pretty aggressive when bringing the infield in, trying to save a run, but with a 5-run lead, keeping it back here to prevent a blue pit.
The 1-1 spiked in the dirt. Nice block from Stafford to keep it in front, 2-1. Jackson out in shallow right field again. Casey Cook behind him. The infield is slightly shifted to the pull side. The 2-1 swung on and missed, strike 2. And one more strike could retire the side. YD leads 5-0 in the bottom of the 4th at Eldridge Park. Kent shakes one off. He's up to 81 pitches. Kicks, fires, popped up into foul territory. And I believe Darby ran out of room over there. So we'll stay at 2-2. Really a tough view for us over here on the left side. Lose most of foul territory, even some of fair territory. Kent fires, and the frame from Stafford doesn't do it on what looked like a pitch that had a chance at a called strike 3. Instead, it's ball 3, and the count is full with Stallman threatening on third. Kent has already ended a couple of innings on a strikeout. The payoff just bumped foul into the net as Hunter battles to stay alive. It was at the top of the zone. He was just underneath it. A nice defensive swing to get a piece of it. Could have been ball 4, but not a bad choice to offer at it. He's reset with that black bat vertical in the lefty box. Kent now set from the stretch. Another payoff on the ground, sneaks through the gap and beats the shift as Orleans finally gets one on the board on the RBI single from Henry Hunter. That snuck between short and second as Jackson was pulled over in shallow right field towards the pull side. And Hunter goes up the middle to get his first base hit of the day.
Yeah, Orleans has been really good against the shift today. That's the second time that they've beaten it.
First pitch ball comes into Joe Oyama in the leadoff spot. Third time through the order now for the Firebirds. So the score is 5-1 in the bottom of the 4th inning. This will likely be Kent's last inning as he's almost at 90 pitches as he fires ball 2 at the shoulders. Oyama's 0 for 2 today, a rare 0 for 2 considering how prolific he's been at getting on base, especially against these Red Sox and throughout the whole season, with his .441 on base percentage coming into today. The 2-0 again high at the short-statured Oyama, and he's ahead at 3-0. Hunter is on first, nobody else aboard. 2 gone in a 5-1 ball game as the 3-0 drops in outside, and it's a 4-pitch walk to bring up Justin Rubin.
Yeah, I think Kent has been out of gas for these last couple of batters and just trying to limp his way through this inning, but Scott Pickler out of the dugout, this might be it.
90 pitches. We have a pitch limit for a lot of these guys in the summer ball league just to prevent damage to their arms. Summer ball is for good practice, but not to possibly injure anybody, as we'll see a call to the bullpen as Kent runs out of pitches with 2 gone in the bottom of the 4th. We will step aside and be right back with our new pitcher on the Cape League Broadcast Network. Ryan Delgado takes over on the mound out of Dallas Baptist University, one of the most recent additions. We've seen him once. He was unfortunately part of something that's become tradition almost here at the Red Sox organization, which is giving up a home run in your first inning pitched. And here he hits Ruben with his first pitch to load the bases with 2 outs.
Well, that's certainly not going to make things any easier for Delgado. Got through his first inning, was a little bit shaky. You're hoping that's just nerves for the Red Sox his first time out. All he needs to do here is get an out.
Gave up 5 earned runs in 1 inning of work. 6 runs total. Out of the stretch, first pitch on the way, sails high to Jack Penny. Penny is 1 for 2 with a single and a ground out. And Delgado is trying to keep more Firebirds from coming across the plate. Orleans has already struck for 1. YD with a comfortable lead still at 5-1. The breaking ball just off the plate, ball 2. Delgado motionless, hanging the hand with the ball. Glove set on the hip. Brings them together, the deep breath. Now the pitch, swung on and missed for strike 1.
Good pitch and good confidence booster maybe for Delgado to finally get that first strike. Again, he just needs a ball in play here that finds a glove, just needs a ground out. He can use the whole field with 2 outs.
Delgado fires at the bottom of the zone. The breaking ball clips it. Nice frame from Stafford, and the count's 2-2. Penny taps the plate, backside and front side, now wiggling the bat in the lefty box. He's set, pitch on the way, just bumped foul off the tip of the bat. Had nice vertical break and Penny reached for it, just got a piece of it. Count will stay at 2-2, regular infield with Hardy backing up the runner at second base. Delgado delivers low, 4-3 as the count has run full. Really important pitch here. Could end the inning or walk home a second run. Wouldn't go against his record as those were inherited. The pitch on the way, swung on and missed, strike 3. Delgado works himself out of a jam after putting the first batter he faced aboard with a hit by pitch and comes in relief of Jackson Kent. Keeps Orleans off the board. The score is 5-1 as we head to the top of the 5th at Eldridge Park. Top of the fifth at Eldridge Park as R.J. Austin leads off for the Red Sox. They lead 5-1. Orleans got one back in the fourth, but Delgado came in relief of Kent to shut it down as Jackson Kent reached his pitch limit at 90. Orleans did a good job all day making those counts run long, but they've left 8 on board as we're just in the fifth inning. Haven't been capitalizing on their base runners. New pitcher on the bump for Orleans, it's Mauricio Gonzalez, and he deals a first pitch to Austin. It's popped up into foul territory and out of play for strike one.
There is panic here every time I see a catcher almost make eye contact with me when running back to a ball. That's the second one in this game that I thought was going to land right on top of us here behind home plate.
Austin shows bunt and lays it down up the third base line. Stallman has it and eats it as it's a perfectly placed bunt up the third base line, and Austin legs it out for a bunt single.
That was perfectly placed from Austin, and see him just try to push that one up the third base line. Kept it on the grass. Made Stallman run about as long as he could to make that play, and he had no chance. That's the right decision to just eat it up and let Austin take the single.
Paxton Kling up for his first time around. Holds off as it almost hits him. Turns away from it to sneak out of the way of the incoming fastball. Came in relief of Enzo Apodaca after Apodaca appeared to twist his ankle. No update on the situation there, but he has been benched for today, likely to rest. Second pitch comes in at the letters for a called strike one at the top of the zone. Gonzalez out of Rice University, the college teammate of YD's Manny Garza. Nods, now fires again at the shoulders. High for ball two. Kling turning away again, as two of them now have almost hit him. Gonzalez is crouched. Austin on first. Haven't seen a pickoff over there as Austin is bouncing around. Looks down and up. Now the pitch falls inside. Ball three. Kling takes his time, now sets back in the box, readjusted his purple and black batting gloves representing the LSU Tigers, his collegiate squad. Gonzalez fires on the ground towards short. The backhand by Penny. Throw onto first is in time after he turned it. Oyama at second. It was a really hard hit ball, but nicely fielded by Penny. And he retires both for the first two outs of the inning.
Penny hasn't played short for Orleans until this game, and he is doing a heck of a job over there in his not usual spot. He's been really strong defensively.
First pitch ball drops in to Ryan Stafford. As the bases are empty with two gone, Gonzalez kicks and deals, swung on and missed, strike one. One and one to Stafford. The pitch, a check swing, called a foul ball, just clipped off the bat of Stafford. As the count moves to 1-2 on the unlucky break. Stafford now set the pink wrist tape and pushes it foul to stay alive. Flared that opposite side towards the right side netting. Gonzalez fires, strike three. Stafford goes down swinging, and that retires the side. Gonzalez faces the minimum after giving up a first base runner on the walk on the bunt single from R.J. Austin, and we head to the bottom of the fifth. You're listening to YD Baseball on the Cape League Broadcast Network.
Bottom of the fifth, Matt Halbach leads off for the Firebirds facing Ryan Delgado. Back on the bump after coming in for just one out in relief of Kent in the fourth. Finished the inning on a strikeout. Now fires the first pitch. It's a strike on the outside corner to Halbach. Matt Halbach was an all-star selection as the pitch comes in and he swings and misses for strike two. Out of UC San Diego, was a first-team All-Big West selection as the team won the Big West for the first time ever. Delgado fires the 0-2, called strike three on the outer half of the plate. Really nice start for the righty out of Cal Baptist.
Been strong after that shaky first outing. He hits the first batter here. You're thinking, oh no, and then he got that big strikeout and looks to be dealing here through these next couple.
First pitch ball drops just off the plate to Eddie Micheletti Jr. He's 0 for 1 with a strikeout looking and a walk. As this one's flown out towards center, Kling moving over towards his left and in, makes the grab on the run with Austin running behind to back him up, and that's two gone quickly here in the bottom half of the fifth. Brings up Fenwick Trimble, the notoriously hitless Firebird, who is 0 for 2 today with a strikeout swinging and a line drive, trying to get the base runners situation going here in the fifth. As Delgado has retired 2 in a row. First pitch lined out towards left field, and Austin has it on the fly. Trimble once again puts the barrel to the bat, but can't find any gaps, and we head to the top half of the sixth as YD keeps their lead. It's 5-1. You're listening to YD Baseball on the Cape League Broadcast Network. New pitcher on the mound for Orleans, it's Nate Scott, as Mauricio Gonzalez had just a 1-inning outing. It was his first day out of the bullpen. Scott kicks and delivers ball 1 to Braden Montgomery, who is 1 for 1 with a hard hit single and a walk. Montgomery has come around to score a run in this game. Second pitch on the way, drops low and trails away from Hunter behind the plate, but nobody aboard to take advantage as the count moves to 2-0.
Scott, the second straight recent acquisition that's making his debut for Kelly Nicholson.
The 2-0 falls off the plate, and Montgomery has the hitter's count. No doubt we would see a green light here if it's left over the plate. Pitch on the way. It is left over the plate, but no swing from Montgomery. 3 balls and a strike. Scott fires. Check swing outside, ball 4. Montgomery has his second walk of the day. Second walk of the day as a leadoff in an inning. And that brings up Xander Darby, who has a home run and a single. Quite the day he's had already, making his way through the cycle.
This is turning into probably the best part of the order for YD, with Montgomery, Darby, Cook hitting in the middle part of it for Scott Pickler.
Pick off towards first. Montgomery sliding back there in time. Just a 6-pitch inning in the bottom half of the 5th from Ryan Delgado. As ball 1 flies in high and outside to Darby. Righty on lefty battle. Hunter already wants a word with his new pitcher. Scott was just activated today. Hunter really taking his time out there. Now gives Scott a fist bump and heads back behind the plate. Montgomery chopping it up with Matt Halbach over at first. And Darby is back in the box, taps the outside and the inside half of the plate, now set. Pitch on the way, falls inside for ball 2. Casey Cook on deck, 1 for 2 today. He scored a run. Pitch on the way, on the bottom half of the zone, as Scott's finally putting it over the plate. 2 balls and a strike. The 2-1. Darby takes it right over the middle. I think was waiting on the fastball, and that one trickled in there. 2-2 with nobody out. Ball 3 drops in the dirt, trickles away from Henry Hunter, and Montgomery takes second on the passed ball. I don't really know how that got away from Hunter. He had it in front of him, and then it just dragged under his leg, but regardless, Montgomery has the extra base, and Darby is in a full count. Swinging the bat below his knees, now loaded. The payoff, swung on and missed, strike 3. Xander Darby is retired for the first time today. To bring up Casey Cook. Another lefty in this heavily left-handed order. Cook has the bat way back over his shoulder and holds off first pitch strike. Scott is finding his rhythm here after the first batter. And it's 0-1 to Cook with 1 gone. A runner on second as YD leads 5-1 in the top of the 6th. Ball 1 drops outside.
Stirring around the Orleans bullpen. Nobody's up and throwing yet, but don't think Scott's going to throw too many pitches here in his summer debut.
Cook waves it around a couple of times. He's set the check. Now the pitch on the ground up the first baseline. Stays fair for the 3 unassisted by Halbach, but Montgomery advances to third. Really a toss-up whether that one was going to be fair or foul. It was called fair, so Cook is retired. And Montgomery threatens at third, trying to score his second run of the day. Dub Gleed is 0 for 1 with a sacrifice fly that scored the third run. Goes swinging at the first pitch, over to short. Fielded by Penny, and the toss to first is on time for out number 3. YD gets a base runner aboard but can't bring him around as the score will stay at 5-1, heading to the bottom half of the 6th on the Cape League Broadcast Network. Bottom of the 6th, Delgado back on the bump facing Brandon Stallman. First pitch on the way, bounces in the dirt and gets away from Stafford to the backstop. 1 ball, no strikes. Stallman is 1 for 2 today with a ground out and a single. Pitch on the way, bounces again in the dirt and sneaks away from Stafford. 2-0. Stallman has the bat pointed towards the ground over his shoulder as the 2-0 flies in high. And he's ahead to 3 balls, no strikes. Regular infield for YD. Out on the grass, strike 1 comes in. Nice fastball with a little bit of ride on that slider motion almost. Delgado fires, lined up towards short. That's a base hit into left field as it gets all the way over to Austin, and Stallman has his second single of the day. Went opposite field on that one. Popped it over the head of Theo Hardy. That'll bring up Colin Tuft this time. Starting off his at-bat in the righty box. We saw him in the righty box and the lefty box his last time around. First pitch is a big swing and a miss from Tuft for strike 1 as Delgado moves ahead to start off the count.
That breaking ball has drawn a lot of chase in the dirt from Delgado.
He checks his runner on first, now set. The pitch falls off the plate. A ball and a strike. Shade falling over the field now as the sun continues to set. It's been a bright one. The lights aren't on yet. Pitch on the way. Another big swing and a miss. This one was falling off the plate and Tuft when chasing towards the opposite box. I keep wanting to say Colin Tufts because half of my family went to Tufts University. It's really hard for me to just say Tuft. But regardless, Counts 1-2 to Colin Tuft. Pitch on the way. Another swing and a miss. This one a big one. Ends up on a knee, and he will walk back to the dugout for the first out of the inning. We've reached the 9-hole once again for the Firebirds with Henry Hunter, the catcher, stepping back to the left side. Delgado twisting the ball, now fires. Swing and a miss. Hunter was ahead of it. His whole swing probably came around before that ball even crossed the plane.
That breaking ball, man, it is a really nice pitch from Delgado. It's got a lot of guys out in the front.
The 0-1, another swing and a miss, another breaking ball, and Delgado is firing away. Neither of those close to the zone, but fooling Henry Hunter on the breaking movement. He's behind 0-2. Delgado checks on Stallman over at first, not a big lead. Now set, the pitch falls low, and this time Hunter holds off for the first time in the at-bat, and the count moves to 1-2. We haven't seen quite as much shifting from YD, especially since Orleans has already beaten the shift twice today. Right now, evenly spaced at the edge of the grass. Delgado out of the stretch. Deals the 1-2 off the plate for ball 1. Or excuse me, ball 2. Henry Hunter out of UAB. Batted just 175 during his collegiate season in 42 starts. Really, really good behind the plate. He caught 12 runners stealing. At the plate, struggled a little bit more. Counts 2-2 with 1 on and a 5-1 game. Pitch on the way. Chopped, soft contact up towards second. And out of the side arm slot, Jackson makes the play over at first, the only option at that point as it died in the infield. Jackson had to maneuver his way around the base runner to get over to it, but Henry Hunter grounds out, and Stallman advances to second. Top of the order, Joe Oyama is back for his 4th time around. He's reached once on a walk today. Other than that, has been rung up and flew out. A runner on second with 2 gone. Orleans trying to cut into YD's lead. It's been at 5-1 for quite some time as the first pitch fastball comes in for strike 1. The last 2 innings have been scoreless after YD put up 2 in the 4th, and Orleans bit back with 1 in the bottom half. The 5th and 6th have gone quickly to this point, but Orleans has a runner in scoring position. As there is a pitch clock violation on Ryan Delgado, that will add a ball to the count. We've seen more of that from YD pitching than from opposing pitchers.
I feel like we've seen more of that lately, too. We saw a little bit of it at the beginning of the year, and now kind of stopped for a couple of weeks, and it's back.
The 1-1 just outside. Oyama holds off, really discerning eye in the left-hander's box. That's what's allowed him to reach base so many times. Delgado checks his lead runner, now fires. Big cut and miss from Joe Oyama, and we're down to the last strike of the inning. Joichiro Oyama out of Okinawa, Japan, which is a big collection of islands out there in Japan. The 2-2. Big swing and a miss. Once again, Oyama ends up on a knee, and Delgado ends the inning on a strikeout. We're headed to the top of the 7th at Eldridge Park. It's Perri, Kitei, and Luke West Poley on the Cape League Broadcast Network.
Top of the 7th inning from Eldridge Park, and Ryan Jackson leads off for YD. 5-1, the Red Sox lead. First pitch on the way. And Jackson takes a called strike in the outer corner from Nate Scott, the righty that throws from a 3/4 arm slot out of Fordham. The 0-1 pitch is a breaking ball that finds the inner part of the zone in the front door. It's no balls and 2 strikes to Jackson. He's 0 for 1, reaching base twice on a walk and a fielder's choice. He's also been caught stealing in this game. Red Sox haven't scored in a couple of innings. Slow wind, now the pitch. And this one lifted out towards left field. Down the line, hit pretty well. Micheletti going back at the wall, and it is out of here. Ryan Jackson hits his first of the year, a deep fly to left. It's a solo shot to lead off the 7th, and the Red Sox add another to their lead.
How about that from Jackson on a 2-strike count? Right down the line, finds the shortest part of the ballpark and gets one over the fence.
First of the year for Jackson. Gets RBI number 4 on that one. And it's now 6-1 Red Sox. Meanwhile, first pitch comes in, and it's taken low for ball 1 for Theo Hardy, who's lost the batting gloves after he wore them for a game and a half. 1-0. Down low in the dirt again. 2 balls and 1 strike. Ryan Jackson last summer in the Northwoods League with the Wood Bats hit just 1 home run. Has one here on Cape this summer. 2 balls, no strikes, the pitch. And Hardy hits this one pretty well on a line out towards right field. Trimble coming in, though, and he makes the catch as that ball was hit right at him and curls into his glove for out number 1. 6-1 Red Sox now with the bases empty. Back to the top of the order we go as R.J. Austin has hits in each of his last 2 at-bats. Austin 2 for 3 with a pair of singles and a strikeout. First pitch to him on the way. It's a breaking ball taken high and in for ball 1. Austin struck out swinging back in the first. Next pitch comes in and he rolls over at foul. Ball and a strike to RJ. Was 0 for 2 yesterday in the All-Star game, but had one of the best defensive plays of the night when he was out in left field. 1-1. Austin hits this one out to straightaway center. Colin Tuff not moving much. Now he will trot in, coming from the shade to the sun, and he makes the catch on the run for the second out of the inning. 2 gone now for Paxton Kling. Will get his second at-bat after coming on as a sub for Enzo Apodaca, who was shaken up. Kling grounded into a double play his first time. 6-1 Red Sox and 2 away in the top of the 7th inning. Yesterday, Austin threw out a runner that was digging for a hustle double from left field. That was his strong defensive play. First pitch rides in near the knees of Paxton Kling for ball 1. Kling ahead 1-0. The pitch drops low in the dirt. 2 balls, no strikes. R.J. Austin had some words for on-deck hitter Ryan Stafford before going back to the dugout. 2-0 the count to Paxton Kling. Nate Scott came in the last inning. His next pitch in drops low. 3 balls, no strikes. Scott walked the first batter he faced in Braden Montgomery, then got a strikeout and 2 groundouts to get out of the inning. In this inning, it's been a home run and 2 flyouts against him. 3-0 pitch to Kling. It's a strike on the lower part of the corner. Paxton Kling not taking his chances at that one. No effort to swing from the LSU Tiger. He will stand back in the 3-1 count. The pitch. Chopper to third and foul. Just slow chopping up the third base line. And so it's a full count now with nobody on and 2 gone in the top of the 7th inning to Paxton Kling. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Scott kicks and deals. Low for ball 4. So out of the 2 slot, the 4th plate appearance between Apodaca and Kling finally generates the first trip to the bases as Kling works the 6-pitch walk. Inning extends for Ryan Stafford, runner on first now with 2 away. 6-1 Red Sox. Stafford is 0 for 3. First pitch on the way, and he lifts it. Foul ground into right field. That is out of play up the hill. No balls and a strike to Stafford, the 3-hole hitter, which is the only spot in the order now with Paxton Kling walking just moments ago. That hasn't reached base yet for YD.
Stafford trying to extend his hit streak to 5 games.
Throw comes back over to first, and it's not in time. May or may not get one more chance after this one with a couple of innings left, but this could be the final time he comes up. Next pitch on the way, and he lifts this one out toward shallow left center field, racing after it, tough diving, and it's off his glove and into left center. Kling motoring into third base. He will arrive there. That's probably going to be a hit for Ryan Stafford, and that'll keep the inning going, and if that's scored how we think it is, then that will extend the streak. So that puts runners on the corners for Braden Montgomery. 6-1 Red Sox, 2 outs in the top of inning number 7. Cannot imagine, despite that being off the glove of Tough, that they give him the error there. And they are indeed going to give Ryan Stafford the single, so that extends his hit streak. They're on the corners with 2 gone. Batting from the left side, Braden Montgomery sees the first pitch. Swings and misses at it for strike 1. Big hack from Montgomery, and he's down 0-1. Montgomery DHing today. Native of Madison, Mississippi. No balls and a strike. The pitch high and away. 1 ball, 1 strike. Heard some Hunter Hines fans from Mississippi State talking about Braden Montgomery, that they love to get him back into his home state out of the portal. 1-1 comes in, runner bluffs, Montgomery taps it foul. Ball and 2 strikes.
Montgomery could go anywhere in the country. He's already been at Stanford. Heard a rumor he had a 34 ACT.
Academics are not an issue for him, and baseball is not either. 1-2. Takes outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. He has singled today and walked twice. Had a single and a double in the last game before the All-Star break against Brewster. Those are his first 2 hits of the year for YD. Next pitch on the way, and he rolls it foul. Wrapped it up the first base side, and we'll do it again at 2-2. He also 2 ways and pitches. Throws in the mid-90s with the fastball. Worked the scoreless inning against Chatham a couple of days ago. 2-2 to Montgomery, and he takes in on the belt for ball 3. Three balls, 2 strikes. Stafford will get a head start on first with 2 outs. The payoff pitch, and Montgomery chops it right back up to the pitcher, Nate Scott. Fields casually and underhand flips over to first in time to get the out. Red Sox, though, do get one as Ryan Jackson, the contact hitter, goes deep for his first of the season to left, and the Red Sox lead it 6-1 as we've reached stretch time from Eldridge Park. Headed to the bottom of the 7th. 2, 3, 4 hitters due up for Orleans when we return. You're listening to Red Sox Baseball on the Cape League Broadcast Network. Bottom of the 7th inning, and YD in firm control of this game as they have been all day long. It's 6-1 Red Sox. Ryan Delgado back out onto the mound. And he will face off against Justin Rubin, who's 1 for 2. First pitch from the righty is cracked up in the air and foul on the right side. 0-1 to Rubin. That sounded like it hit a car, and there was a groan from the crowd over on the right side. The kick and deal on the 0-1. Swinging a foul tip into the glove of Ryan Stafford behind the plate, and it's 0-2. Rubin has not struck out yet. Ryan Stafford has struck out 4 in 2 1/3 innings of work. 0-2 pitch. Outside, scampering to it. Ryan Stafford throw the ball back to his pitcher after dealing it in the dirt. A ball and 2 strikes to Rubin. From the kick and deal. Swing and a miss. Sword type offer at it from Justin Rubin, who looked like he wanted to check his swing, but went the full way around and didn't do it in full motion, as Jack Penny now will stand in with nobody on and 1 out. A lot of those regrettable swings generated by Ryan Delgado, who has had himself a really nice second outing. First pitch to Penny on the way. Check swing, and it's a strike anyway on the bottom of the zone, 0-1. As Penny looks to be the first base runner since the leadoff of the last inning. 0-1. Slow roller over towards third, skips up on Xander Darby. He handles it with a bobble, though, and throws to first for the out. Quickly 2 gone in the 7th. Delgado has already induced a 6-pitch inning in this game. Gave up 5 earned in 1 inning of work his first time out. Here today, through now 3 full innings, he has not given up a run and thrown 39 pitches, trying to go 3 1/3 in relief of Jackson Kent retiring this next hitter potentially. First pitch to Matt Hallback comes down near the feet for ball 1.
That was a really nice recovery from Darby over on third. It skipped up on him, and he snagged it out of the air off the bobble and still managed to make the throw.
1-0 slides off the plate. 2 balls, no strikes.
It's really not easy to reset yourself in the middle of a play when there's so much hectic energy going around, and Darby already had 1 error today.
2-0 pitch. This one lined over towards second, over the head of Ryan Jackson and into right. This is going to split the gap. Picked up before reaching the wall, now digging for second, sliding in safely. Matt Hallback is in there with a 2-out double. Casey Cook out there in right might have had a chance to make a play at second, but the throw was slightly offline, and the inning continues as Matt Hallback lines one into the right center gap for a double. It's pretty deep out there in right center, 359, and growing exponentially out towards center in terms of distance, so that ball didn't even get all the way to the wall, but was deep enough for the double. Runner on second, 2 outs for Eddie Micheletti. First pitch to the lefty comes in. And he rolls over at foul towards the Orleans dugout, 0-1. Firebirds have left a man on base in all but 1 inning. That was the 5th, the 6th pitch inning in which Ryan Delgado worked 1, 2, 3 through the 4, 5, 6 hitters in the order for Orleans. No balls and a strike to Micheletti. Pitch. Reached for it and lifted it up right side of the infield. Ryan Jackson backing up a couple steps into the grass from second, and he puts it away to retire the side. 2-out double is stranded as Orleans goes scoreless once again. It's still 6-1 Red Sox. We head to the 8th on the Cape League Broadcast Network. Top of the 8th inning from Eldridge Park in Orleans. Red Sox out in front of the Orleans Firebirds by a 6-1 tally. The leadoff man is Xander Darby in the inning for the Red Sox against a new pitcher, Cole Glassburn, the journeyman righty. And the first pitch coming into Darby on the way. It's a strike at the top part of the zone, 0-1. Glassburn transferring in next year to Kaiser, an NAIA program in Florida. This is his Cape League debut. 0-1. Darby lifts it up and foul behind home. Darby is homered, singled, and struck out swinging in this game, but it's been a productive day at the plate for him. Glassburn over on the bump, transferring into his third school. Last played for 3 seasons at Worcester State. 0-2. Looping breaking ball hit on a line over to second. One hops past Oyama and into right for a base hit. Oyama looked like he had that covered, but stumbled as that ball came up near the chest area. And it got by him into right. So for the moment, Xander Darby will have his 3rd hit of the game. Probably a base hit. That ball was scorched, a breaking ball up high that Darby got every bit of. And it is a single for Xander. Runner on first, nobody out for Casey Cook. First pitch to another lefty for YD. Is outside, just a hair or two off the plate for ball 1. Cook is 1 for 3 with a single. He's also reached on an error and scored a run in this game. Grounded out to the first baseman his last time up as we get a throw over to first and Darby slides back. 6-1 Red Sox, 6 runs off 9 hits and an error for YD. 1 run off 7 hits, 2 errors for Orleans. Another check on the runner, a little closer that time, but Darby is still back. 3 left on base for the Red Sox. For Orleans, they've left a man on in 6 out of the 7 innings that they've been at the plate so far. They've left 10 men on total. 1-0 to Cook. Slides down and in, 2 balls, no strikes. Talking to Cook earlier today, his swing looks noticeably different. He said that he's changed some things. You remember back to the beginning of the year where he had a very noticeable hitch where he would pull his bat back during his load. 2-0 pitch to Cook. And he takes a strike on the upper part of the zone right next to the YD letters on his chest. 2 balls, 1 strike. Said that he just cleaned up a lot of things, made his setup a lot simpler for his swing. It's allowed him to shorten up, and it has worked out in a big way as we get a throw over to first and Darby slides back. Average has been on the climb. He has another hit today. He's been hitting the ball a lot harder recently as well. 2-1 count. The kick and deal. And he rips this one down the right field line, but it's curling foul, and it drops there, rolls all the way up the hill on the right side. Another smoked one off of a pitch from Glassburn. This time not straightened out, though, by Casey Cook, and he'll return to the plate in a 2-2 count. Runner on first, nobody out in the top of the 8th inning. Two pitch. Reached for and flown out towards shallow center field. Long run for Tufte. Dives and makes the catch. Had a chance at one earlier, and that time Colin Tufte leaping to it, makes the grab and robs Casey Cook of his 2nd hit of the day. Darby heads back to first. 1 gone for Dub Gleat.
That was just poetry from Colin Tufte out in center field. The dive, the roll, the holding it up at the end to show that it's in the glove.
First pitch to Gleat on the way, and he takes low for ball 1. That was truly remarkable. He had a chance on a very, very similar looking play earlier, and the ball just ticked off his glove. That time he made no mistake. Runner on first, 1 out, 6-1 game. 1-0 the count to Gleat. The kick and pitch. And Gleat hammers this one mile high out towards center field. This barely gets into the outfield, actually, as Tufte comes all the way in and makes the catch. Gleat got way under that one, hit that extremely hard, but almost straight up. 2 gone now in the inning as Darby goes back to first. Ryan Jackson got his first hit and his first home run of the season his last time at the plate. That came to lead off the last inning in the 7th. He scored Whitey's last of 6 runs in this game as the Red Sox stand on top by 5. From the stretch, bent at the waist, the first pitch is in there for strike one. Glassburn taking a breath. He's noticeably hunched over when he throws from the stretch. Darby swinging the arms on first. Pitch to Jackson. And that clips the bottom part of the zone, and the count moves to 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes to Ryan Jackson. Hit that runner on first. Glassburn set on the bump. He throws. Breaking ball off the plate. A little bit down as well with the curveball, and it's a ball and 2 strikes. Jackson standing up relatively straight in the righty box in a 1-2 count. Glassburn throws. Chopper over towards third. Long run. It's under the glove at third of Stallman. Penny recovers behind him. Throw to first, though, is cut off as Hallback ran towards the third base bag from first to grab that. And so everybody's safe. Jackson at first, Darby moving to second. And Jackson gets the base hit for that, so he's got back-to-back hits now and is 2 for 3. Inning continues for Theo Hardy. He is 0 for 3 today. Pop out and 2 flyouts, 1 to each corner of the outfield for Hardy. Righty on lefty, the first pitch to the San Jose State Spartan. Outside for ball 1.
That brings the Red Sox hit total up to 10 double digits, once again continuing their streak over the last 2 games, I believe. 3 games in a row now.
11 against Chatham. Next pitch on the way. This ball was crushed out towards center field. Should be playable, though, for Tuft as he comes around it and makes the catch for out number 3. So the Red Sox crossed that double-digit mark in terms of hits, but they can't plate any runs and strand a pair. In the 8th inning, we head to the home half. It's 6-1 Red Sox on the Cape League Broadcast Network. (6-1) Red Sox leading over the Orleans Firebirds in the bottom of the 8th. First of back-to-back games between these two teams as they sit atop the East Division. Fenwick Trimble leads off for Orleans. He's 0 for 3 today, as Ryan Delgado is back out there for the Red Sox. Currently in line for the win in this one. First pitch comes home. Trimble takes high and tight for ball 1. Delgado came in relief of Jackson Kent, who threw 3 2/3. Delgado has gone 3 1/3 so far and has thrown just 45 pitches. 1-0 pitch on the way. Grounder over towards short, actually from third. It's being played by Darby instead, who ran across it, throws to first, and it's in time for the out. Sneakily nice play made there by Xander Darby for the first out of the inning. For reference relating to pitch count for Delgado, at this same point, Jackson Kent was
over 80 pitches.
Yep, and he was about at the same amount of pitches. He was in the 2nd inning of his outing. Stallman is 2 for 3. The first pitch to him is down in the dirt for ball 1. 2 singles. He scored a run in this game. That's Orleans' only run, as it's a 6-1 game led by YD in the bottom of the 8th. Righty on lefty, Delgado fires. tie at the letters. 2 balls, no strikes. Really a get-right outing for Delgado. Maybe some nerves his first time out when he pitched. Those seem to be gone for the man out of Cal Baptist. 2-0 is strike called on the outer corner. 2 balls and a strike. Ryan Stafford's framing has been excellent today as the 2-1 pitch comes in. That time it misses outside. 3 balls and a strike. To Stallman out of UNC Charlotte. Bases empty with 1 away in the 8th. From the wind, Delgado wiggling the glove, throws home. Breaking ball framed on the lower part of the zone for strike 2, and the count is full. So Delgado, contrary to Jackson Kent, hasn't seen as many of these. In terms of full counts, here comes the payoff pitch, and it's jammed over towards short. Hardy plays it on a hop, worms it into the breadbasket, and throws on to first for the second out of the inning.
Hardy was pulled over slightly towards the bag, and it put him perfectly in line for that. Might have snuck through otherwise, but instead was right there, kind of chested it down with his body. It was really, really hard hit, but had enough time because it was so hard hit to get it over to Glede, no problem.
2 gone for Colin Tuft. Nobody on as Delgado has now thrown 4 innings, shutout ball out of the bullpen. First pitch on the way. It's a breaking ball in the front door for strike 1. Tuft is 0 for 3. He's reached on an error that came back in the second inning, his first at bat. Fly out and a strikeout since. 0-1 pitch. A breaking ball. This ball is hammered out on a line out towards center. Coming in on it, the catch made by Paxton Kling, and that ends the inning. 1-2-3 for the second time out of the bullpen by Ryan Delgado, headed to the 9th from Eldridge Park, and it's 6-1 YD. You're listening to Red Sox Baseball on the Cape League Broadcast Network. 6-1 Red Sox in the top of the 9th inning from Orleans. Luke West Poley with Perri Kitei alongside as always. And it's another new pitcher on the mound for Kelly Nicholson. He loves to go to his bullpen, and today he has given all his new guys a chance. It's another debut as Curran Jacobs pitches against his hometown team. The native of Yarmouthport, Massachusetts, comes in a 6-1 game led by the Red Sox in the 9th. And he will pitch against YD in his Cape League debut. Senior out of Pierce College, JUCO in the Northwestern United States, plays in the NWAC. Started his college career at UMass Dartmouth and will pitch his first game on Cape this summer. First pitch on the way, and it's way up high for ball one for the pinch hitter for YD. That's Garrett Ostrander. Out of Cal Baptist, native of San Diego. Seen him come on a couple of times as a sub for Scott Pickler. 1-0. Comes inside. 2 balls, no strikes to Ostrander.
Ostrander batting 1,000, 1 for 1, and his only at-bat of the year.
2-0 pitch. Down low for ball 3. Jacobs is fastball, slider, changeup. Fastball in the lower 90s, tops out at 95. Slider 76 to 78, changeup 81 to 83. 3-0 pitch. It's in there for a strike. A bat toss behind the back by Ostrander, but he will come back to a 3-1 count. Jacobs had a really strong year in JUCO. 10 appearances all out of the bullpen, 3-1 record, ERA of exactly 1. 3-1 pitch to Ostrander, and it's rolled on the ground towards third and fielded in foul territory. Ostrander ran that all the way out towards first base, but he will return to face a full count. Three balls and 2 strikes. He's batting for R.J. Austin, who finishes the day 2 for 4. 2 singles, a fly out, and a strikeout for Austin, who's continued to show off his impressive contact hitting. Three balls, 2 strikes. Jacobs lifts the knee and deals. And it's lifted up behind home plate and just escaping the field of play. This will get out of play over the screen. 3 balls and 2 strikes once more. YD in front by 5. They took the lead in the second, scoring 3 runs, and have not looked back since. These two teams will meet again tomorrow in a earlier start time than normal. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Ostrander. Pitch. Low for ball 4. So it took him a couple more pitches, but he does work the walk after thinking he added a few pitches ago. Runner on first now for Paxton Kling with nobody out. These two teams will meet tomorrow at 4:30 p.m. as the rest of the YD home games will be 15 minutes earlier at 4:30 due to avoidance, hopefully, of darkness. First pitch on the way. Kling takes a ball underneath the zone, 1-0. Kling is grounded into a double play and walked. They're coming on as a defensive sub for Enzo Apodaca, who twisted his ankle after a couple of at-bats. 1-0. Jammed high in the air on the left side of the infield. Jack Penny over to it from short, adjusting to his left, and he makes the catch for the first out of the inning. 1 out now for Ryan Stafford with a runner on first. YD leading by 6. Two-step lead on first from Ostrander. First pitch on the way, and Stafford hammers it on a line, and it's off the glove of Oyama on a one-hop into right. Ostrander motoring towards third, and he will stay there standing up. Took a round around third base, but that ball eventually was recovered by the outfield for Orleans. It's the second ball that has been absolutely crushed at Joe Oyama that he's had to make a split judgment for. And both times they've got by him. So the Red Sox have runners on the corners now as Stafford is credited with the base hit after an 0-for-3 start. He's 2 for his last 2. And that brings up Braden Montgomery. He's reached base 3 times with a single and 2 walks, officially 1 for 2.
That's Stafford's 4th multi-hit game of the last 5.
This one hit up the middle. That's a base hit for Montgomery. Stafford will halt at second as Ostrander scores, and it's an RBI single for Braden Montgomery. That's the first RBI of the season for Montgomery. And it's now 7-1 YD in the ninth. First and second with still just 1 out for Xander Darby. He has had a strong day at the plate as he's 3 for 4 with 2 singles and a home run. Righty on lefty to Xander Darby as the first pitch will come in. And it sinks down low for ball 1.
Today, YD was moved down in the power rankings in the Cape League to number 5, but if you're watching this team right now, you'd say that was a mistake. They've been at 2 and 3 consistently the whole season, and these last couple of games have looked really strong.
1-0 misses outside, 2 balls, no strikes. That coming after what was probably YD's toughest stretch of the season at the beginning of last week, but they've really gotten it right over these last few games. 2-0 pitch. Strike called on the outer corners. Since the loss to Hyannis, YD has won 2 straight over Chatham and Brewster in 2 games that they really never had a chance of losing. 7-4 victory over the Anglers, an 11-1 win 2 days ago, I should say, against Brewster. This one comes in, and it's hit out towards right center field. That'll drop for a base hit for Xander Darby. Stafford will be stopped at third as it was picked up quickly by Colin Tuft in center. But Xander Darby has his 4th hit of the game, and that loads the bases here in the 9th.
Just can't say enough good things about him, the way he's been seeing the ball since right after the beginning of the season. After that adjustment period to the wood bats, he has been one of the most consistent guys in the lineup day to day.
Bases loaded for Casey Cook. He is 1 for 4. Last time got robbed of a base hit off a diving catch from Colin Tuff. First pitch breaks on the inner half of the plate for strike 1. Shake of the head from Casey Cook. No balls and a strike. Bases loaded, 1 out. 7-1 YD in the top of the 9th inning. Still out of the stretch. Jacobs kicks and deals. A breaking ball finishes at the bottom of the zone for strike 2. Cook batting 191, but he's brought in 11 this season. He's reached base twice today. No balls and 2 strikes to Cook, and pitch. Bouncer in the dirt. It's chested down by Hunter, who will let the ball sit on home plate. No reason to recover it quickly as long as it stays in the area with runners on every base. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Casey Cook. One-two pitch, wrapped foul on the first base side. Still 1 ball, 2 strikes to Cook. UNC Diamond Heel has some space to the pulse side. Oyama playing in double play depth at second. 1-2. Breaking ball away. A grunt from Jacobs, but that had significantly less behind it than some of the other pitches we've seen him throw. It was much more off speed. No chance Cook was going to swing at it. It was way outside. He's got the count even at 2-2. The pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Got the fastball by him up high. And Casey Cook down on strikes for the first time. So the Red Sox will rely on Dub Glee to try and get them a 2-out RBI. He has brought in 1 already in this game. He scored Casey Cook on a sac fly in the second. Gleed is 0 for 3. First pitch bounces in, knocked down by Henry Hunter, and that's ball 1. 2 outs now with the bases loaded, and YD in front 7-1. Only game going on in the Cape League tonight. Pretty well attended, but the crowd's thinned out here late. Ball and no strikes to Gleed. The pitch. Fastball high. Up at the level of the chin. 2 balls, no strikes. Ryan Jackson is on deck for YD. He has homered in this game. Singled his last time. 2-0 to Dub. And he swings and belts this one foul down the left field line. Gets out of play. 2 balls, 1 strike. Jacobs trying to limit the damage to 1 in this inning. Bases still loaded. Gleed still ahead 2-1 in a hitter's count. Here comes the pitch. It's a breaker low. Knocked off the shoulder. Hunter will run it up the third base side. And the count is 3-1 to Gleed. Jacobs got nowhere to put him. Bases are loaded. From the stretch. Comes homeward on the 3-1. And it's low for ball 4. So Stafford will score from third. Montgomery moves from second to third. Darby from first to second. And Dub Gleed is on base for the second time. 8-1 Red Sox, our new score after Brian Stafford comes across for the first time in this game. And now the base is still loaded with 2 outs for Ryan Jackson, who's got hits in his last 2 at-bats. First pitch to the righty, way up high for ball 1.
That was the 6th walk of the day from Orleans pitching, and those free passes have been destructive to the Firebirds. YD extends the lead even further.
Also come at very inopportune times for rally purposes as the 1-0 drops low. They've walked 3 hitters to begin innings today. 2 balls and no strikes to Ryan Jackson. They walked the first hitter of this inning in Garrett Ostrander. 2-0 pitch. Hit in the air. This might get to the shallow outfield and left center. Backing up from short and coming over on it, the catch made by Jack Penny. And that retires the top of the 9th. Headed to the last half inning as YD looks to shut the door. It is 8-1 Red Sox after they added a couple of insurance runs. Back in a moment from Eldridge Park. You're listening to YD Baseball on the Cape League Broadcast Network. (8-1) our score. The Red Sox leading the Orleans Firebirds in the first game post All-Star break. Luke West, Poley, Perri, Kitei alongside for the bottom of the 9th inning. Ryan Delgado is still out there looking to go 5 1/3. He is in line for the win with a hefty lead at his back. Henry Hunter will be the batter. Defensive change for YD. Slots Connor Dykstra behind the plate for this 9th inning. Henry Hunter leading off. He is 1 for 3. First pitch from Delgado is a breaking ball down the chute for strike 1. Delgado has thrown just 54 pitches through 4 1/3 innings. Kick and deal drops down low. And so the count moves to 1-1. The hit that Hunter had was off of Jackson Kent. He's 0 for 1 against Delgado with a ground down. 1-1. Sails up high, 2 balls and a strike. But Delgado has bounced back in a big way after a tough first outing. It's been perfect so far. This pitch on the way drops low. Ball 3. He has worked a few very efficient innings, including one that only lasted 6 pitches. 3-1 the count to the leadoff man in the 9th, Henry Hunter. The pitch outside, ball 4. Flips it over to the top of the order. Joe Oyama has reached base on a walk, but is hitless, 0 for 3. The East Division MVP from the All-Star game yesterday, who has also seen quite a bit of action his way in the field. Some has gone his way, some has not. Runner on first and nobody out in the bottom of the 9th inning. Look over at first and the set from Delgado. Now he throws. Swing and a foul tip by Oyama. That's strike 1. So for YD, Red Sox could be clinching playoffs over the course of the next couple of days if they have some results go their way over the next few nights. This win is certainly going to help them. 0-1 to Oyama. Swings and misses at a pitch in the dirt, 0-2. Also, of course, this is big in terms of YD's division title hopes, trying to win the East in the regular season. As the Red Sox currently sit 2.5 games clear of Orleans, but the Firebirds do have 1 game at hand. These 2 teams will meet again tomorrow. No balls, 2 strikes to Oyama. Pitch, fastball high, and he takes ball 1. YD has front ran this division since they took it over a few weeks ago from Harwich. 2 bounced back and forth for a couple of days, and YD's had it now for a while. Big lead on first as the 1-2 comes in. Grounder, first base side. Doug Gleed will just make the simple play and take it over to first. Content to let the runner move up to second base as Hunter had a very large lead. Oyama is retired on the 3 unassisted, and there's 1 gone in the bottom of the 9th. Justin Rubin comes up now as the runner is into scoring position at second. 1 out in an 8-1 game. YD out in front. Righty on righty for Delgado. Rubin was the first batter he faced back in the 4th inning. First pitch, front doors in for strike 1. And he hit Rubin. And then in the 7th inning, struck him out. No balls and a strike. And the pitch to Rubin on the way. Cranked foul to the opposite field on the right side. That gets out of play. 0-2. Getting to that point. Starting to be the home stretch of the season for YD. Into the final 10 regular season games. Snowballs and 2 strikes. Pitch comes into Rubin. And he swings and misses at it for strike 3. Rubin down on strikes for the 2nd time, and there are 2 gone in the 9th. Runner on second in an 8-1 game for Jack Penny. But Perri, going into the home stretch of the season, if you had felt the way we felt watching YD play about a week ago, maybe you don't feel as good, but these past couple of nights, they have really proved to turn the tides a little bit.
Absolutely, Luke, and especially this lineup's really settling in.
First pitch to Penny is a called strike at the top part of the zone.
And since the draft has already happened, we've seen most of the turnover we're going to see, and the new additions to the lineup. I mean, look at Delgado and Ostrander, and they've been looking really strong to start things out here so far. So YD just feels like they're playing as a team that's really come together.
0-1 is fouled back, and that's kind of where you hold your breath a little bit. Is you've been at the top of the division for most of the season, then the draft happens, you lose some of your top talent, you lose Will King. Max Vieira has departed this team.
Hector
Garcia departed the team, and you wonder, oh no, is this new roster not going to be able to hold it up? And they have for YD. Runner just ran from second to third. Delgado gives him the bag as the 0-2 comes in and it drops low for ball 1. Delgado was not paying any attention to the runner on second. He still hasn't even looked that way. I don't even know if he realizes that that runner is on third. It's a 1-2 count to Jack Penny. 2 outs in the ninth. 1-2 pitch. Jammed foul out of play on the left side. Delgado pitching out of the stretch in a 1-2 count, in line for this win. Trying to go 5 1/3 in relief to pick up the victory. Another 1-2. Down and in. Nice stop by Connor Dykstra. Coming to it and keeping it from going to the backstop. That would prevent a run from scoring. The 1 run in this game is pinned on Jackson Kent. So Delgado trying to bounce back from his 5-run outing with a 0 in the score column in his name. 2-2. Breaker low. Bounces on home and the count is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Righty on lefty. Delgado trying to shut the door on another strong all-around performance. 3-2 pitch. Hit on the ground over towards short. Fielded on the backhand by Hardy. He throws to first. It pulls the man off the bag and Gleed, and he loses the ball on the tag. And so the run will score. See how that gets scored. That matters for Delgado about whether or not the run becomes earned. It'll make it an 8-2 game with a runner on first as the game continues with 2 outs in the ninth.
That throw was a bullet from Hardy across the diamond. He had to go a long way, picked it up on the backhand. But Jack Penny extends it to at least one more batter.
Matt Hallback is that batter. And the first pitch to the righty is grounded over towards short. This should do it. Hardy's going to throw it over to first. Gleed has it, and the ball game is over. YD comes back from the All-Star break, and they pick up right where they left off. They pick up a dominating win over the Orleans Firebirds on the road in a battle of 1 versus 2 in the East Division. These two teams will meet again tomorrow, but for the Red Sox, they pick up their 20th win of the year and do it in a fashion where there was little doubt. Perri, I mean, we've already talked about it throughout these past couple of innings, but this is just as strong as we've seen YD over these past couple of days, and these past couple of days just as good as we've seen them be all season. A lot of reasons to feel good about this team going into the final week and a half of the regular year. This team is really just firing on all cylinders right now.
Absolutely, and it feels like it's the contact hitting that's really improved. I think at the beginning part of the season, YD had a lot of power, and they'd win a lot of games on that one home run that gets out of there and scores a couple of guys that got on base, but as of late, it's just been the singles, the doubles, driving people across, being disciplined at the plate, taking those walks. And let's talk about Delgado coming in today. After that one inning, the only inning we'd seen him, gave up 6 runs. 5 of them were earned, not enough to inspire a lot of confidence. And today, pitched 5 1/3 innings, 6 strikeouts, 5 of them swinging, only allowed 1 walk and 1 hit by pitch, so 2 free passes from him. Kept Orleans completely off the board until that one at the end, and he was just phenomenal.
And the 1 is unearned as well, so that's a nice bonus for Delgado that the ERA on the outing is perfect, and he picks up the winning decision in this one. We'll be back on the air tomorrow as these two teams meet back up, the Red Sox and the Orleans Firebirds. Once again, we remind you it's a special 4:30 start time. It won't be special anymore as that's the start time for the rest of the year, but start time earlier than it's been through the first 30 games of the season for YD at Red Wilson Field instead of 4:45. 4:30 tomorrow and the rest of the season at home as the Red Sox and the Orleans Firebirds will meet again for the second straight night. YD stays atop the East Division as that wraps things up here from Eldridge Park. For Perri, Kitei, and our entire crew, my name is Luke West Poley saying so long from Orleans. Red Sox win it 8-2 your final. We'll see you tomorrow. Until then, good night.